Yep, so HK Army released their brand new Alpha Series tanks that are coming in 3 different sizes. We saw that 48 really quickly right there. There's the 68 and then a 77. And I don't physically have these yet. I was trying to get one today but didn't have time. So hopefully next weekend I'll actually, or next week, next Thursday during the live stream, I'll actually have some of these in hand so we can kind of like maybe compare the length to some other tanks and actually, I don't know, get a little bit of hands-on with them. But they're extremely light. Well, I should say extremely. I mean, they're not like, ounces or something like that. But they're considerably lighter than, we'll say, tanks in that similar size. So they're really about 15 to 20% lighter, especially versus the Ninja SL2 tanks. So they're just very, very light compressed air tanks. I'm not 100% sure on the hydro on these, because I think the same exact company that's manufacturing like their First Strike tanks that have a 47-year lifespan, that same company I think is manufacturing these Alpha tanks. So I'm not 100% positive, but they very well may have a 47-year lifespan, just like the First Strike bottles. And in these pictures, they do look a little bit more round. We can kind of see right there on the 48. If we go back to that 48 size right there, you can definitely see on the back how it's not maybe as round as a typical compressed air tank. And that goes through the whole line as well. These pictures of this 68 right there, and then that 77 coming up, look much more round in the back than they are. They're a lot more squared off, just like those First Strike bottles. And they're a lot wider too, so they're shorter and wider. So they're a little bit shorter than our typical like 68 or 77 sizes. I'm interested. I think that lighter is always better. The prices aren't crazy. They're starting at $209 for that 48. That 68 right there will be $215. And then I believe the 77's $225. And they've kind of redesigned their regulator as well. You can see that regulator on the front of there. It's just their standard, high pressure output basic tank reg, but just spruced it up a little bit to make it a little bit more fancy, maybe make it stand out compared to like all the other tank regs. I like them. I'm just curious about kind of how they feel, by being a little wider and shorter, they're certainly going to feel a little odd. So I think I'd probably even want to run that 77 with a tank extender.